Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're here to do my top 10 games on the iiRcade platform. These are my 10 favorite games that I've released in the iiRcade. I'm usually tending to more modern games or modern spin-offs of arcade classics that we already know and love, which is kind of what this list is comprised of. I also wanted to make this video because a lot of people always like to say the iiRcade doesn't have any good games, and that's not true. Do I want more modern games, and do I want the big bangers that we all want, like Shredder's Revenge and stuff like that, and Streets of Rage 4? Absolutely, those games should definitely come on the platform, and I hope that they're working hard on them. But that doesn't mean that there's no good games on the platform either, and I'm here to showcase my 10 favorite games. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming tech is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so the first one here coming in at number 10 is Knights and Guns. Knights and Guns is a game for up to 2 players on the iiRcade. As you can see here, you have your shoot, your dash, your special, your jump, your reload, and your store. So as you can see here at Knights and Guns here, you're starting off in waves, trying to kill all the enemies on the screen. The graphics on this game do look fantastic. Love the way that the game plays. And it is a ton of fun to be able to play this game on the iiRcade. I love newer games, as you guys are going to see, that's apparent on this list. And this obviously falls into that category here. And I'm not doing very well. There we go. Getting backed up into a corner here. But yeah, Knights and Guns is a ton of fun to try and get through all these waves. There is an endless mode as well where you try to last as long as possible. Really, really fun. Upgrading your weapons and all that kind of stuff as you progressively get further and further down the campaign. Really, really cool. Love the graphics and the art style. Knights and Guns coming in at number 10. The next one on this list coming in at number 9 is Oddmar. As you can see here, you have your jump, attack, and slam. And this is for 1 player. The visual style of this game is just so good to look at, as you guys are seeing here right on the main screen. The visuals of this really stand out. Really, really solid graphics in this one. And this is also a game where you're going through a bunch of levels, trying to obviously beat them. So I'm going to go ahead and just start a level here for you guys. Yeah. You go through all these different levels, and as you can see here, the visuals of this game just look really, really good. Nothing compares to these visuals. I mean, they look fantastic on this 19-inch screen. Playing a game like this on an arcade is exactly what I want out of the iiRcade. Love the music in this game as well. Just looks so good as you guys are seeing here from the gameplay. Going through all these levels, collecting all these gems. It's kind of like a platformer kind of game, but with really good visual style, in my opinion. And the platforming levels, of course, get harder and harder as the game progresses. And you try to unlock all the things and grab all the coins. Kind of like a Mario kind of thing. It's really good in my opinion. Definitely check this one out, guys. Oddmar coming in at number 9. The next one on this list coming in at number 8 is Mayhem Brawler. Mayhem Brawler is a game for up to 2 players, as you can see here. And it has your attack, special, block, jump, pickup, and dash. Mayhem Brawler is a side-scrolling beat-em-up with a comic book style flair with the graphics presentation and the story that it's trying to tell, which I think really serves the game well. It kind of makes it stand out from the crowd as far as a game like this. And again, playing this on an arcade system like this with the booming sound is obviously great. I mean, the graphics again are really, really good on here, and it's a great new side-scrolling beat-em-up here that you're playing from the same vein of things like Streets of Rage and all that kind of stuff that you guys are used to. And of course, I'm getting killed over here. And there we go. Beating all the enemies on screen, just like you're used to at games like this, and you're going through the levels and stuff like that. Picking up different objects, as you guys can see here. You can pick up all these different things. Gives you all your moves that you can do there at the bottom. Got to dash out of the way of that. But yeah, it's a really fun cooperative side-scrolling beat-em-up that is definitely worthy of being on the iiRcade. It's really fun to play through. Has a good story. You can unlock arcade mode after you beat the story, so you can just level select and play any level you want, as you would expect. Has special abilities for all the characters, as you guys saw there. There's 4 different characters to kind of be a part of. You can counterattack when you actually get good at the game. So you can counterattack when someone's about to hit you, which is really cool. So really, really stylistic game. Definitely one I recommend. Mayhem Brawler coming in at number 8. The next one on this list coming in at number 7 is Retromania Wrestling. And this game is kind of in the same vein as like WrestleFest and stuff like that. It's kind of like a sequel to that game in a way. And it has, as you can see, weak, medium, strong, run, tag, and taunt in the game. You can see you have story mode, you have retro run mode, you have verses that you can play on here, you have leaderboards as well, which is really cool. You could just do verses, you could do singles, 3-way, 4-way, tag team, 6-man, 8-man, all the kind of stuff that you would expect. And it has all the different characters that are on here that you can go ahead and play as, which are all fun to play. Of course, they all get have their own movesets and stuff like that, which is really cool. You have all these different stages here, which I think is really cool because some of these stages actually house people that you know from the YouTube community, which is really interesting. So that's really cool that sometimes in the crowd you'll see like the YouTube people kind of sitting in there and stuff, which I think is really fun. As you can see, the graphics in this game really give you that WrestleFest kind of vibe with newer retro graphics, and I think the game looks really good on here. Plays extremely well on here, and is exactly what you would want a sequel of sorts to be like for WrestleFest, and a game like this to be on, to be on here. It's a really fun wrestling game, as you guys can see here. Obviously, there is some getting used to with the controls and stuff, and when you get used to the controls and how to actually play the game, you guys can see that it is a ton of fun. Climb the turnbuckle, slam down on the opponent. Completely missed, but that's fine. Really, really fun wrestling game. If you guys are fans of like WrestleFest and stuff like that, like I talked about, great graphics. Really fun game to play on an arcade machine, exactly where this game needs to be, just like WrestleFest was back in the day. And this is a really good arcade wrestling game if you guys want to check this one out. That is Retromania Wrestling coming in at number 7. The next one on this list coming in at number 6 is Dodo. This game is a one-player game, and all it has is a jump button. That's all you need in this game. And this is just one of those arcade games that's really, really hard to put down because it's really addicting. You're essentially going through the level, as you can see here. I'm at the bottom, and it's kind of like a riff on Donkey Kong, where you're just going through the levels, collecting all the donuts, going up and down the ladders, trying not to get caught by all of these things, as you can see. Really, really fun, and really hard to get through all these levels without, dying. And I ran right into that toilet. Thought I could jump over him, but I can't. And of course, trying to get to the top. Trying to get through this level here so I can show you guys. Go a little hard. There we go, and we got past level 1. So that's essentially what you're doing in stage 1. Trying to complete it, and then you're going through and trying to do it as fast as possible, going through these levels. It's an arcade game, of course, like Donkey Kong, but kind of like new retro flare graphics and as you can see, presentation here. Dodo is a really solid addition to the arcade, iiRcade platform. Really, really fun. So check out Dodo coming in at number 6. The next one on this list coming in at number 5 is Bomb Squad. Bomb Squad is actually a game that came for free on the iiRcade when you first got your system. And it is a game for 2 players, and it also has online. You can see there's jump, bomb, punch, and pickup. And this is a really, really fun game. I've actually played this game. I don't know how many of you guys remember the Ouya from back in the day, like I do, but I do remember that game, and you can go ahead and kind of see that this game is really fun to play in multiplayer. I'm just going to go ahead and do single player for the time being. But you can play this game online. It has all of these different things. It has all these campaign levels. It has tournaments that you can do. You could do races. You could do last man standing in the arena. All of these different things that you can kind of play as you can see here. Then you can kind of join and go ahead and get the game started. You can play 1 player or 2 player there. This is kind of showing you the tutorial and stuff like that. And then you're basically just grabbing all of these different power-ups around the map. Kind of like Power Stone-ish kind of game where you're doing that, but they have all these different things that you're kind of doing and progressing through. You can throw bombs at each other. Obviously the name Bomb Squad to try and kill your opponent. Maybe more... I held that way too long in my hand. Also reminds me of games like Bomberman and stuff like that, of course, where you're collecting the bombs and trying to kill your opponent on these different stages. that you're getting here. He's just got me pretty well with that bomb. And you're just trying to go through all these different ways, but they have races that you're sometimes trying to do and not get hit by an opponent. All of these different things. I have gloves in my hand now, so you can also just go up to an opponent and just punch them off. As you can see here, so you don't have to bomb them. So it's a really fun game, especially in multiplayer online. It is pretty active because it's not just on the iiRcade. This is cross-platform with other systems that also have this game online, and it's also so it's really fun to find players online and just play like this style of game. So I definitely recommend if you're into games like this and you want online games, this is definitely one of my favorite games to play online on the iiRcade. That's Bomb Squad coming in at number 5. The next one on this list coming in at number 4 is Space Invaders Gene. This is a game for one player, as you can see here. And I'm sure you guys recognize Space Invaders, but this is like a new modern take on the game, as you can see here. There's score attack and just playing the game, and you're essentially just going to go through these levels and try and rack up as high a score as possible, just like most of these games would be. We're on stage 0 here as you start from the beginning every time you play to try and get your highest score. And I definitely like it better than Space Invaders, the regular version, which is, I wasn't paying attention, which is also on here as well if you want to play the regular Space Invaders. And you'll see that you start off playing regular Space Invaders, but now you can see this stage is transforming. You're kind of, after you shoot a couple, you're going into the next progression, kind of going through this campaign story mode. And now we're on stage 1-1 here after going through that little 2-second intro there to kind of get you into the field where you shoot a couple enemies. And now you have like this new style of Space Invaders here. And you can see as you progress that they'll throw new colors at you. They'll throw new enemies at you. So it's definitely very much Space Invaders type gameplay. But again, with a modern take on it, which I really, really like, which fits the theme of what iiRcade, in my opinion, should always be concentrating on when it comes to games is, yes, I want arcade classics, but with a new modern take, and this game is exactly that. It's Space Invaders, but with the modern take, and I'm super happy to kind of have this into the fold here. And as you can see, as you beat a level, you go ahead and progress to the next one, you get your score, and then you get evolution, which you evolve into the next level, essentially, as you can see here, where now we're going into 1-2. Love the beat of the music in this game, too. It really puts you into the game, as you can see there. And now enemies are coming at you in a different way. So again, it just switches up the gameplay here. Really puts you in the mood with the way that the beat of the music is playing. I definitely recommend, if you guys are fans of Space Invaders, to definitely check this one out. Space Invaders Gene, coming in at number 4. The next one on this list coming in at number 3 is Dead Cells. Now, obviously, I have a Dead Cells iiRcade machine, so I guess it shouldn't be a surprise to you guys that I really love Dead Cells. This is a one-player game. Obviously, as you can see, the controls are there: jump, primary, secondary, roll, L scroll, R scroll, and it actually uses the map and the pause over here because it needs some extra buttons. And this is Dead Cells, like you all know and love from the systems, because this is obviously not a game that's just on an iiRcade machine. It's obviously on the Switch and all these other systems. But honestly, games like this that can run on the iiRcade fit perfectly on here, because this style of game is like the style of games that we want to play on an arcade machine, in my opinion, because it works so well on here. I love the graphic style of Dead Cells. It looks great on here on the 19-inch screen. It runs super well, and playing Dead Cells on this arcade machine is exactly how I kind of want to play the game. I'd rather play it on here than I would want to play it on like my Nintendo Switch or anything like that. And as you can see, it has the standard gameplay that you would see in Dead Cells. As you can see here, going through, you have all these different things. I'm going to go ahead and we'll take that with us. And then, of course, you're just going through the levels, killing all the enemies. We all know the style of Dead Cells gameplay that's on here that we're obviously going for, and it works super, super well on here. I'm also pretty bad at the game, if you guys couldn't tell. But I do find the game super, super enjoyable and super, super fun on here. I hope that they keep updating the game on here so we can keep playing like the newer style and stuff like that. So Dead Cells is definitely a fantastic game to have on here. I'm super happy to have the iiRcade like mimic our graphics and stuff like that on my iiRcade, because I love the game, and this is definitely one of the most fun games you can play, in my opinion, on the iiRcade. So check out Dead Cells, coming in at number 3. The next one on this list coming in at number 2 is Galaxy Champions TV. This is actually one of the newer games on the list. This one just came out recently. It's already shot up on my list of a really addicting game, and it is also for 2 players, as you can see here. And you go through and you pick a character and a difficulty level, and then you have to go ahead and progress through all of these different environments and all these different areas that you're going through. As you can see, we're starting off in 1-1 here. And if you guys are really big fans of Smash TV, that is exactly what this game is like. And it's so fluid on here and so much fun to play, as you guys can see here. And what's great is that when you play one player, you can actually use both control sticks, as I'm looking here, like the way Smash TV is kind of supposed to be played. So I'm super happy that that is an option on here, that if you're not playing with 2 players, you can just go ahead and use both. If you do play with 2 players, and of course, you're going to have to not use both control sticks on here. You're going to have to make some sacrifices. But this is a super, super fun game. As you can see, all the explosions happen everywhere. If you guys are fans of Smash TV, this is definitely the game for you. There's a lot of levels to progress through, a lot of upgrading your weapons and stuff like that to try and get through all the different planets that are in the game. Every time a level ends, you obviously have upgrades that you can pick through, like a flamethrower and stuff like that, as you can see here. And then you progress through the next area and you kind of do the thing. And this kind of is a newer take on what Smash TV was. If Smash TV was made today, that's exactly what you're getting at here. And I think this game is super fun. Here's my new power, or gun that I actually unlocked here, which is just throwing all of these different things on the air. It looks like I ran out. But this game is super, super fun. And like I said, it recently just came out. It's one of my favorite editions on the iiRcade. Like I said, it's another game that kind of fits the style of what the iiRcade should be going for, which is, hey, we want newer style games, and we also love arcade games, so why not combine both and get games that are really good, that kind of reminisce of arcade classics that we all know, love, like Smash TV, but kind of have this new flair that would fit perfectly on an arcade machine like this. So this game is fantastic. And the #1 game on my iiRcade that I can't get enough of playing is Galacticon. Galacticon is a 1-player game here. As you can see, it is shoot, fly, and auto that you have going on here. And this is another one of those really good classic arcade games. It does also have leaderboard support, so you can go ahead and play and try to get the highest score against everyone else on the iiRcade platform, which is great. So what you're going to see here is this game is so much fun. You start off here in level 1. Love the retro style graphics here, and it's kind of like Joust combined with a shooting game. As you can see here, you're jousting around, getting up, and you're trying to save all these little creatures here and bring them to the bottom area. There you go. I got the first one here, and then you're jousting up in the air trying to shoot all these enemies that are trying to take all these creatures, or these civilians or creatures, however you want to call them, that you're trying to shoot. And it's so addicting. Really addicting to go ahead and play this game, and it's been real fun to play on here. I'm not going to lie, saving all these creatures and trying to go for the high score and compete with others online. And I just killed myself because it's hard to play and talk at the same time, which is exactly what I'm going to blame it on. But the game is super good. It's my favorite game to play in the iiRcade. It's usually the game that I have running for people when they come over and I kind of want to just have something running. This is definitely the game that I have running because it's easy to play. And a lot of people love it because they love the arcade nature of it. Again, fits perfectly at home on the iiRcade because it has the arcade flavor that we all know and love from back in the day from games like Joust, but has a new graphic style and the new leaderboards and just really good graphics to kind of take advantage of the iiRcade platform. So this is exactly the games I love seeing on the iiRcade that are just so much fun to play. So this is Galacticon coming in at #1. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video here on the iiRcade of my 10 favorite games to give you an idea of what you guys can expect if you guys get your own iiRcade yourselves. There is a lot of good games on here, and there's obviously going to be more games coming in 2023, and I can't wait for their online lobby system to get even better, because right now it's in beta support and we need an open lobby system, which they did say is coming in 2023. That way we can play these classic games that I'm not really playing too much of now with online gameplay for the first time, because obviously I own most of these games on a main cabinet, but if I can get with the iiRcade community and play these online and have all these games, like, you know, more simple games online, then that's going to add even more of a benefit than there was before. So I can't wait for the future of the iiRcade, guys. Let me know your favorite games that you play on the iiRcade down in the comments below, and thank you guys for watching. Till next time.